Do you know who Ed Gein is?
Ed Gein. I'm
Yeah,
hoping he's like a bodybuilder and like he sells like protein powders or pills or something because that's a powerful name.
it really is. It might be Ed Gein, but I've always said
Ed Gaines,
Ed Gein.
baby.
Um,
Boom.
he does he does pack on the skin, the extra body. He's really good at collecting muscles. But not his own, Stephen.
Oh, he takes tissues from people.
Yes, he does. So Ed Gein is a very famous serial killer who inspired Norman Bates and like Texas Chainsaw
Okay.
Massacre and all these things. He was known for having created, for various reasons, but creating various bits of like pieces of furniture and articles of clothing using human skin and tissue, like human body parts. Steven, I've been watching this movie.
Wow.
So there's this new like Netflix series. It's an 8-part series. It's called like Monster, the Ed Gein story or whatever. And it's super interesting, right? It's definitely interesting. But here's the like of course it's a tragedy, right? Like it's super tragic. This man was a monster. He did these crazy things. He had issues for sure. Issues that you and I like thankfully don't show on camera. Uh
You're not able to produce comics with those issues, I tell you what.
no, not good ones. No, nothing that anyone actually wants to read. But Steven, I understand. I would never like talk about the victims or any of the stuff that he did, but what really bothers me about him, which I know sounds stupid, but what bothers me most about him, Steven, is I'm watching this movie, right? Everyone, aside from his mom, right? But like there's a woman who's like so nice to him. Like people are just like so nice to him. And he looks like he murders people. Like he looks 100% like he's gonna wear you as a hat in a bad way, you know? Like he looks like he's like, "Oh man, I need a new shirt," and you look about my size and he's like tailoring you. Like he looks
He's like
insane.
measuring you out. Like this
He's
is
right. And then Steven, on top of that, he's beyond awkward. Like, you and I, we have tendencies, like we have things that
you
make
have
us
quirks.
quirks. Like if I can talk to you, but as soon as there's like a third person in the room, I'm like, I don't know how to navigate this situation. What am I? Man, get out of here. I can't do this, so I'm gonna say nothing instead and just see what happens.
I am really good at performing the A and B conversation. When it comes to C, D, E, F, anything after, that juggle becomes difficult.
I'm not joining a circus, okay? I'm not trying to juggle words. No, I get it. We all have like our quirks and our issues. Stephen, this man, was beyond messed up. Like every his mind, and mind you, of course, a lot of it came from various things that happened to him. I'm sure he had some sort of medical or mental like predispositions towards certain things. I don't know. But what I do know is how it was presented in this movie is he is very plainly in the creepiest voice possible. Like almost like he's Mickey Mouse's uncle saying like, "Yeah, I made a bowl out of a human skull." And this girl, this adorable, naive, wonderful human being is like, "Oh, creepy, obvious serial killer man who just told me that you serial killered someone. I will go to your house and I will be your friend." Like
Oh
Steven,
my God.
Steven, no, and here's the thing. I was thinking about this and I was like, okay, yeah, we can just say she's stupid, but no, Ed Gein ruined it for everybody. Like, if you're out there and you're like, man, I look a little creepy, or like, I'm a little awkward, we had a
Mm.
good run, okay? Ed Gein came along and he was like, I'm gonna make belts out of nipples and ruin friendships. Like that was
Dang. So wait, is this show you're watching? Is it like a documentary or is it like
no,
a fictional like re not fictional but like a retelling of it through like
yeah, so
like it's a mini series. It's like a show kind of encompassing what he did, but it's fictional characters
fictional characters. So
or actors.
actors, yeah. So no, it is. It's basically a biopic, and what they do is they tell his story in a really interesting way that I personally appreciate because I love film. I like film
Mhm.
history and stuff, and I like stories and storytelling, and I like understanding like where people get their inspiration, and I like seeing that certain things kind of like permeate our culture, like just like it just last forever. There are some things that are just like, hey, this made a wave, and we're still feeling the weird like trickle of that tsunami, and the
Mm.
reality is. his actions and the absolute madness that was Ed Gein created this like wave of like a cultural shift in a sense, and like it touched. And so the way the show is laid out, you see his life for a while, and then as he begins to make that unfortunate like reverse hero's journey into madness, you
Mhm.
it kind of cuts to where you see Alfred Hitchcock, and it's an actor with like prosthetics playing the director Alfred Hitchcock, and he's making Psycho. And
Mm.
you realize like, okay, these events in Psycho were directly inspired by this person. So we get to see a rendition of the author of Psycho and like Anthony Perkins, who played Norman Bates in Psycho, and you get to see them all and how they interacted with the story, and we hear of Ed Gein through their conversations. And kind of like in a fun cinematic way, we could see like what he did. And then through that, it cuts back and we get to see like Ed's actual life and what it was like. And they just kind of like jump back and forth. And we're on episode 3, I think. So like I'm hoping they eventually. I mean, oh, it's so dark, but I assume they're gonna get to like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre stuff because Steven, he's making furniture out of skin from bodies that he's collected.
Did Ed Gein target anyone particular, or was it just you're a human being and that's what I'm gonna do?
Yeah, so like from what's crazy is I don't know to what extent the show or Ed Gein himself tried to excuse these things with like mental disorders or like like mental health crises, but he was clearly suffering from some form of schizophrenia where he was seeing things that weren't there, or at least experiencing things that weren't actually happening with people that did exist. So like right now I'm
Mm.
talking to you, and like it's kind of like do you remember from Dusk Till Dawn when Quentin Tarantino looks over and Julia, what's her name? Juliet
Juliet
or
Lewis?
Juliet Lewis. Juliet Lewis like looks at him and she says like crazy things to him, and he's like, yeah, I'll do that for you, but she's like, what are you talking about? I never
Yeah,
said
hmm.
what? And he's completely hearing things like she is there, she is looking at him, but that didn't happen. And like so Ed Gein was supposedly experiencing some of these things, and some of them were like, for instance, there's this woman at a bar, she's the bartender, and she's essentially offering him services to his mind. So he's just like, oh, you want to like set me up with these prostitutes and they're
Mm.
Jezebels, and how dare you invite that into my life? And like he shoots her. So he kind of uses this illusion,
Justifications.
hallucination
Yeah,
as a justification for murder. And then beyond that, he's like, I'm gonna make a chair out of your nipples. Like, and it's crazy.
that's
It's
crazy.
so bonkers, dude. And I actually like I won't go too far into it, but there it is pretty interesting. The way they kind of explain it was that Ed Gein was he was just a simpleton. He was like a Midwest kind of like farmhand simpleton sort of person who probably would have lived his entire life that way. Maybe he would have gotten into some trouble, maybe had some aggression, who knows? But like his friend, this girl, showed him this Nazi paraphernalia that was unknown to the general public at the time, where she was like, look, there are bodies in these camps, and there are these magazines, they're comic books, and it's all like propaganda magazines from the Nazis, where it's showing like what this particular Nazi woman was doing with these bodies and making lamps and doing all this stuff. So Ed Gein had these books and he was looking through them, and where most people would be like, oh, I hope that's not real, or oh, I hope they're like, oh,
Like,
this is
ooh,
really
that's horrifying if
horrifying.
true.
Yeah, if this is real, this is madness. What happened with him is it kind of broke his brain, where he was like, this is now a reality in which I live. He's like, oh, people make lamps out of skin. I too, like, not just I want to go to there, but like I live there. Like now I too make lamps out of skin. Now I too can do this to bodies. Like if it can be done so much so that we're gonna make fiction out of it, I can do it. Which is like a terrible slash great argument for people who are like, violence like begets violence, like in the media.
Yeah.
But like that, of course, it's
He is the literal definition of the media we consume affects who we become.
and Steven, it's just another pin in the cap for like Steven, this is why we can't have nice things. He's like, this is the reason you can't look a certain way, it's the reason you can't like what? Ed Gein, like, and of course, I like his mother was terrible to him, or at least like supposedly. I don't know Ed Gein's mother, but like how she's portrayed in the show was just like unbelievably like
So,
terrible.
which is where the Norman Bates like kind of like connection comes
Well,
from, like the
oh,
mother and
Steven, I
son
don't want to
dynamic.
like. Oh, Steven, yes, that's exactly where it comes from. Like he took a body and was dressed it up like his mother and was talking to it,
Oh.
and it wasn't great. Like none of it's great, Steven. It's all horrible. It's why we can't have good things. I will say, I don't understand why no one saw this like potential in Ed Gein before. Like, why weren't they like, hey Ed, I noticed you looking at these lamps. Like, hey Ed, it looks like you want to make some belts. Like, why don't we put those hands to, like idle hands are the devil's plaything? And Ed Gein's
Yeah,
like, my hands haven't
let's
moved.
focus that. Let's focus that little power you have on things that are a little bit animals even. If we have to, if
We
we
have to,
gotta, if
if
we
we gotta
got
do
to
it,
make a
make
Davy
that sad.
Crockett hat out of a raccoon.
I like
You know,
just it's so sad because like he did have a friend who was like trying to get through to him and she was incredibly naive and almost his girlfriend according to the show. I mean, like awkwardly like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to your house and we'll see what happens. And he's just this monster. He's this monstrous looking, terribly, like awfully, this. He has this horrible voice. His face is like he has this like very scary looking like face that you would draw if you were to draw a monster. You know what I mean?
mm,
Like he is. Oh, it's just terrible. And then here she is being sweet and wonderful and trying to be like his friend and support him and do whatever she can. She goes over his house and there's just like garbage everywhere. Her first inclination is like, "Oh my gosh, let me help you pick up."
mm.
Not like
Not like this guy's twisted.
yeah,
Let's.
yeah. But anyway, if you know anything about Ed Gein or like what else he may have inspired, or if you know about any interviews with him or anything in real life and like have information, let us know because I'm curious to see like if this show is like portraying him how he actually was because it's bonkers that he lives. Steven, one quick thing before we get into the show, I just have to say this. I just have to say this. He kills this guy, right? He kills his brother. And
His actual brother too.
yeah, so
Damn.
he kills his brother, right? I understand he's making lamps out of people. I understand that there are nipples on chairs due to his handiwork. I understand that he's having just these fantasies, these mental breaks in reality that like I couldn't fathom. I get that. I get that. I know that he's not a smart man, right? But he hits his brother in the back of the head with a wood log, right? And he kills him. Stephen, the way he like gets away with this, he sets a fire and he puts the body near the fire. Hang on.
Is he
And he
cooking
runs.
it?
Stephen,
It's a slow broil.
no, right? But here's the thing, right? Had he said, I can't find my brother, and he threw the body into the fire, people would have assumed there was an accident. The brother fell into the fire, he couldn't get out, he burned to death. That's what happens. Sometimes that happens. A fire gets out of hand, someone like passes out, they die. That's but instead of that, instead of putting the body in the fire where like and then being like, oh no, what's going on? He put the body next to the fire ran and was like, "Oh no, what's going on? There's a fire and I can't find my brother." And the cops come and they're like, "Anyway, this body is super stiff and it seems to have a blunt force trauma to the back of its head." And he's like, "It's cold out and also fire." And they're like, "Checks out, Ed Gein. You, sir, are a gentleman and a scholar." And they just like
Oh
let him
my
with it. They
god.
just let like he's just
This,
like,
I mean, he was alive. I mean, if the Psycho movie was made in the '60s, right? The
yeah,
original one. So I mean, this is probably happening, and I'm assuming the '40s or '50s, right?
yeah, yeah. So, but
Late '40s, early
we're
'50s.
still, Stephen, like the
You
human
would think that Dick Tracy or
brain.
somebody would.
Right? Someone just pop in there and be like, well, there's blood on this log. You're clearly a monster. I'm pretty
Have
sure
you seen yourself, son?
you've seen it. And again, there will be movies about you. Anyway, let's get to the actual show where we talk about our comic books and life in
That's
general,
wild.
not actual monsters. Hello, Welcome to We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
I am Stevie Wildcard.
Steven, tell the audience what we do. I've been talking for too long.
Every week, Mr. Lafusi over here and I get together and we talk comics, we talk friendship, we talk love, but more recently, we've been talking about our culty comedy comic classic. Culty comedy comic
Our
cult.
supernatural superhero culty comedy comic called Death
I
Note.
had the I had the end. I had the end. I
Yeah,
had the
yeah.
hard part. I had the
Hard.
tongue twist part. I had the tongue twist part. Anyways, and that's what we're currently working on. So each week we get together to just kind of discuss what's happened because Anthony and I, though we did see each other this week in person, adult life being busy, this podcast was kind of created as a catch-all for us to catch up, us to progress on projects that we're working on together, and yeah, talk some crazy pop culture like about Ed Gein and his
Oh man,
horrible nipple furniture. But
Steven, if you had to make a chair out of a human body, right?
if I was like at
You're
gunpoint
absolutely
and
forced, right?
they're providing the materials. I didn't fetch the materials.
Right,
It was
right, right.
handed
But
to me.
let's just say, like, you know how they make those like charts of cows where they're like, this is where this steak comes from. This is where this comes from. This is the filet mignon or whatever. Like, I'd go with the back for like the
Yeah,
chair.
back
Like,
like back or thighs, like just
back or
something
thigh. Like, yeah,
that's
yeah, something
has
that's
no like distinguishing texture to
yeah.
it. Like
Okay,
it's
Steven,
weird that we're even talking about it, but what I'm saying is like
you
nipples are
say
a
it.
weird choice.
I would give you get 1 star at Gain. Like if I bought a chair and it had a nipple on the side of it, like what do you think my right butt cheek is like, ooh, I need a nipple on it, but now my left one, at least make it symmetrical. What are you doing at Gain? 0 stars. No, no, it's crazy. Absolutely bonkers, dude. I can't believe it. Like it sucks. It's terrible that anyone would do that. I hate that it's not fiction. I mean, it's frustrating though because like no, not like there's ever a justification for it, but it's like, oh man, it like they show you, they're like, oh look, you like Psycho? This is what had to happen in order for you to have that. It's like
Mm.
that's not necessarily true. I wrote a whole book, and the only true thing in here is that I was in a bad relationship and I got dumped. Like there's some truth to it, but I don't have.
Listen, people can write horrible things, but maybe it's the whole idea that something that horrible has to happen in reality for us to accept this
Yeah,
fictional version of it as a way to cope with what these horrors we're seeing. Like it's almost like
yeah,
there wasn't a problem for us to sort through until we noticed that these things do exist. So now we kind of need some sort of fictional version of it to
yeah.
kind of,
It's
juice our brain of that fear
Oh,
and
it's so true, and it's
anxiety.
like they talk about that in the show where Hitchcock is like, I want to show that the real monsters aren't, these creatures in the dark, but it's us, it's like humans.
Hmm.
Yeah, hell is other people. I get it, but also like we're good, we're good, and
Hmm.
and then here I am writing a book where I'm like, we're not monsters, I promise. Even
We
look
just
like him
we
at the
dice
end of the
people.
film. Oh, the world needs some joy. But dude, it's so crazy. But anyway, about our books, we try to make people laugh, Stephen. We try to make people happy, right?
Mhm.
I was thinking about this today. I was like what makes you like why do you think like why do you make comics or anything? Like why do you make stories, comics? Like why do you want to draw stuff?
I just I've storytelling is fun, right? I don't know. I've always you and I both, but me too. Like I've always been attracted. I mean, movies, comic books in general, just storytelling. Like I guess reality escapers because if life isn't boring, life is terrifying, I guess. So like it's
That's
nice to like enter fictional universes, and I think comic books in particular kind of make you feel like you can be more powerful than you actually are, or more capable of doing and changing things or altering things or fixing things that need to be fixed that you just know that
yeah.
the way the real world is, it doesn't allow you those, simplicities.
Yeah, I like that. I feel like comic books are kind of like that cave that we like dive into to try to find treasures that will eventually help us when we resurface into the real world. Like just like
Hmm.
books, movies, and like all this stuff in general. I always associate it with food, where it's just like, some things are like a full course, like or some things are health
Hmm.
food, some things are junk food, some things are, various
Hmm.
things. but they all have little treasures that in one way or another are going to help us. And like, yeah, some of it is just the escape, and some of it is while you're escaping, you're realizing, oh, other people go through this, and so you get to,
Hmm.
as the people who tell the stories, we get to express these things, but also offer people like a rope in their particular caves or quicksand or what have you, and be like, hey, I've been through this and I know your situation is different, but you can understand that there are similarities here and we're both humans and this is how I got through it. Maybe that'll help you somehow, hopefully. I know it sucks, but here's a rope and I hope it helps, and
Hmm.
it's and there's that, and then there's also just like the joy of the escape, like no matter how temporary, we like you said, like we get that like little reprieve from the absolute chaos and Ed Gaines out there in the world. And we get to be like, listen, I
Then
know.
there's obviously the fun like social tackles, like we're like Uncanny X-Force having the whole. I feel like the whole mantra or the whole idea of Uncanny X-Force was nature versus nurture. Is it Apocalypse's nature, or or is it how he's brought up that leads him to be this maniac? Or same where it comes full circle in the end of Uncanny X-Force with Wolverine and Daken. Like because he wasn't present in his son's life and the person this man became was, is it his nature or was it because of my absence? Like, yeah, like things like that. I mean, yes, you obviously, just like with any medium, you can tackle some pretty like heavier issues in comics too. But like I like them all. I really do. Like I do like just the blatant happy like power, like, positive, like so, like you would think like a Superman comic or something of that nature. And then also the dark and crazy like Killing Joke, or like just the twisted, like the things that are like that go bump in the night.
Oh yeah, like the preachers and like the boys and
The
like
Preacher.
get a little darker,
Or the post-apocalyptic dystopian wastelands like Why the Last Man.
Yeah.
Um
I love that, and part of that is like, how can I share views that I have or questions that I have and see how I can like explore these particular questions, and maybe I'll come up with answers or just like share that, hey, I have these curiosities with other people, which is another version of like connecting. It's just like, hey, we're all stuck here where like all of the questions that we actually have, the answers to which are like just ineffable. Like there is no one
mhm,
knows anything on our planet. We're all here fumbling around like fools, but we're trying to be like, hey, this is what I got and this is what I found, and hopefully it'll help you. And I don't know, and let's share. And I love that. I love that about reading. I love that about writing. I love it about creating. I don't know, like someone said, a couple of people said to me on Twitter, they were like, "Oh, you're not supposed to write like to get readers. You're supposed to write because you for you." And I'm just like, I do, but that's just level one. Like I have, like there
mhm,
are. It's a multi faceted situation. Like I like to create for starters, just to express myself because it's fun. Like I like to just write things because I enjoy it. There's just joy there.
mhm,
And then I express myself through it to some degree. Like I'm not just like on a soapbox saying these are all of my opinions, but like I'm expressing questions and some answers or whatever I may find along the way, no matter how faulty. And then like
mhm.
beyond that, I'm like looking for that connection that I was talking about, where I'm like, hey, I'm presenting these questions and these like potential answers. Has anyone else been to these places or anywhere similar? And if you've been to anywhere similar, let me know. Let's talk about this. And I'm trying to connect with people. If no one's there to read it, then no one's connecting. First of all, no one's like gaining the joy that I'm hoping to give other people. No one's, you know what I mean? It's just like there's a series of things where I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I still accomplished these things and I'm still happy about it. But like, it's a staircase of opportunity. I'm not just like, oh, well, I'm on floor number one. I wrote the thing. It's no longer my business what happens to it, which is partially true, but also like, I want readers. I want an audience. I want to know that like,
I feel like every creative wants like
yeah. And
I'm gonna make it sound even more crass. I feel like every creator wants someone to consume their creation. And like anyone that says that's not the case is simply lying, because like I think and I think it's not so much in the sense that it's not like a direct like I want you to consume it because I want money. It's not like that, but
oh,
like I want to be revealed and I want to be seen, basically. I mean,
It's
And
that.
and when you see it, I want you to give me your like how you feel about seeing me and like what you know, I don't know, like there's
But
definitely
there's,
a human interaction that's not no, there's a human interaction that's expected. Let's be real. Like
of course,
even if it's behind the scenes, like and like you'll see those creatives that just say I do this for myself, and it's like yes, we all do because it feels fun. Like that's a joy for me to
of
sit
course,
down on the couch and put something on TV and draw is fun for me. I enjoy doing it, so why not structure it? You know what
right.
I'm saying? But let's be honest, anytime you're focusing or putting any creative energy into a project, I don't care how much you love it, it does become work because for you to succeed and finish something of that magnitude, it requires legitimate work, meaning you're not going to feel super joyous every time you're doing the act, right? So for someone to work, it means that they're expecting some sort of transaction in the end for their project when they're finished. Whether it's the relief of like you know dumping their brain onto pages or onto a canvas or for other people to react to that. I mean, that's just the truth. I see what you're putting down basically, and I'm just gonna say like, yeah, I can't stand the people that say you should. I know what you were doing there
I
for a second.
know,
Like,
and well, it stinks because like I understand, and like it's not that they're wrong; it's that they're
yeah,
misunderstanding.
they are right. They're right about like the ten
They're
percent.
right
You know,
about that
like
part, but they're not understanding that like it's just simply more complicated than that. Like
yeah,
that the idea is like we wrote our first book was Play It Again. And I'm just like, okay, well this is an incredibly like bare, like vulnerable story and I'm just saying like here I am. What do you think? And
mhm.
yeah, I want to know like I'm hoping and not now here's the thing. I don't expect like everything's subjective. I don't expect everyone to like me, like my books. I know for a fact I made this cover like I wanted this cover specifically because I knew it would profile or it would allow a profiling situation in which people who see it and are disgusted by it entirely wouldn't want to pick up the book. I want people who want to read disgusting, funny, silly things to pick up my book because that's what it is, and those are the people it's for, you
Yeah.
know? Similarly, like
You're trying to put some joy into the world. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
I'm trying to make. I want to make things a little better. And like, and I don't like if that sounds weird or wrong to people. Like, no, then that's too bad. You're not my people. Like I just like there's too much weird like hate and division and just like sadness and depression and Ed Gaines in the world. And like the only like, I
Skin
want,
lamps and
yeah,
nipple couches.
and like, yeah, and I want to do whatever we can to be like, hey, I'm also here, and Steven's also here. It's not just monsters. And even sometimes when we look like monsters, or and even when we do things that feel monstrous in a moment, doesn't mean we're just at game. We're not absolute like terror, like irredeemable, like pieces of trash. We're trying, and everyone's trying, and like, dang it, I know it sucks, but like here I am being vulnerable and showing you that I'm sorry for like just being human, and it's weird. But we all struggle. We all struggle with the various things that we're going through. Just like the people who said that, like they're going through their own thing. I know that. Everyone's like on their own journey, taking their own steps toward whatever it may be. And it's just I think that's part of it is when people like you and I hear that and we're just like, you're not supposed to do that. That's a different thing. And I'm like, well, it's okay that you don't want readers like or like don't care. Like
Yeah, I mean, maybe there is someone out there that literally just writes stuff, doesn't share it with the world, and just expels it, and then talks about that they did this thing, but they don't want to share it.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure those people exist in the world. You know what I'm saying? But
To me, it's so funny because like if we're in a weird place right now, just like with media and like writing and creating and making things. Like right now, if we wanted to, we could sit down on like ChatGPT or like AI and make a book in an afternoon. It wouldn't be great. It would be pretty terrible, honestly. Like, and I'm not saying that all AI writing is bad or even recognizable as AI writing. That's a super faulty manner of thinking. Like it's scary because it can be good. That's what's scary about it, right? But I don't
mhm.
like that. I like writing and creating, right? But here's the thing, like I could do that, put it up on the internet and just keep just toss books out into the world. And Stephen, that's happening. A lot of people are doing that. The competition uh, between like authors is getting really bad because so many, or one of the reasons is because so many people are creating AI content now, right? So I guess my point is if you don't care about readers at all, like if the truth is you don't want like care if anyone reads your book, just don't put your book out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say just don't put your book out because there are already enough books. Like when I go, if when I'm going through Netflix and I'm looking for something to watch, I want to watch the thing that like someone made with love and they're really excited for me to read it or to watch it. Like those are the things that I want to watch. That's why I watch movies with commentary, and that's why like I watch documentaries about things. That's why I can watch something like Ed Gein and
I have to add, like, I know it's popular right now too, so it feels like it doesn't feel disingenuous, but like it's just easy to love on something that's so popular. But I have to say, like, obviously he already did a wonderful job with the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. But as a Marvel fan, I am really loving James Gunn's DCU so far. And like Peacemaker has just been so fantastic. And I think what you're saying rings true. Like
yeah,
James Gunn, like he has a podcast for it. They commentate on every episode. They talk about things. Like you can tell he's passionate about the stories he's telling. You know what I'm saying? Like, and James Gunn has always been that way, in my
yeah,
opinion. I mean, that dude is
oh
is
yeah,
definitely like someone who is just someone who loves the art, the craft of movie making. He's
yeah.
in love with it,
It's
and he
very
does a fantastic job. Like that dude brought back a hopeful superhero movie. Like Superman was such a beautiful, hopeful, like positive movie, and like he made it like cheesy in all the right ways and fun and action packed. And I don't know, it's just really cool to see someone so high up on the polished like movie making totem pole still love the craft so much. You know what I'm saying? Like I think
yes.
that's what I'm trying to get
It,
at,
and I
because we associate that level of love to an indie creator. You know what I'm saying? Someone who's truly passionate, ground level, just doing it for the love of the game, for the taste of it. But I
yeah.
feel like James Gunn has that even at that high level, you know?
Yeah, that's true. And what's funny? Like, I wouldn't even be talking about this if people just said their opinion for themselves. But it's just like I don't like it when like if I say, man, I really hope people read my book, and someone and like a few people were like, you shouldn't care like if people read it. I'm like, okay. I mean, like, why are you? I don't. Why am I getting beat up about wanting
I
to?
think it's like one of those weird situations where people try, it's like this weird way of making you feel better about it existing and not getting to the not meeting the expectations you're putting upon it. I get where their heart is, I
Yeah.
think,
No,
or at
I
least maybe I'm optimistically hoping that, you know?
No, I think you're
Like
right. You're right, Steven. And like, but I think here's the thing. Like, someone like okay, like I can only speak for myself. I know, but like, I need outlandish goalposts. I want
mhm,
to be like one of my books is going to be a bestseller. Like, I don't care if it's far-fetched. I don't care if it's impossible. I don't care if like I truly impossible. Like if you showed me a script and was like, "Look, this is your life." And it's all been
mhm.
written and it's all preordained and you are never going to sell more than 20 copies of your book. I'm still going to be like, maybe the next one will be a bestseller. Maybe someone will option it for a movie. Maybe I'll do like, and I'm gonna keep doing what I can where I am with what I have to get to those places. I'm going to keep taking steps. I'm going to keep making a podcast with my best friend and making comic books and launching Kickstarters and talking about it and being silly and trying to post things that make people laugh. Even though when I make a silly joke, there's always someone who like does like a get out gif or like rolls their eyes at my pun because it's not like a political post where I'm saying everyone I hate in the world or whatever. Like all I'm doing is trying to be as good a person as I can be and do what I can do while I'm alive. And it's just so weird to me that anyone's like, maybe you shouldn't. It's like, I just, it drives me.
Mutual bonding over things you hate is like one of the things I dislike the most on the internet for
Yeah.
sure.
And
Like
I mean,
it's not something we often do in real life. I feel like those relationships happen, but in the real world, like, and I'm not trying to sound like a boomer or something by saying the real world as if the people you meet on the internet aren't friends and things like that, because there's very, I mean, the world's different now, but
yeah. I mean,
most people that you meet in the world day to day, you're not bonding with those people over mutual hate ever. Like it's very seldom. Like there ain't no room in your real world for additional negativity. Typically, if you're finding a friend in real life out of the blue, it's because you both were at somewhere that you both enjoy, or like a movie, or like music, or like those are the bonds that get made in the real world. Why have we suddenly focused so much on bonding with all the negative aspects of the world, which is only going to perpetuate just
I know.
further hate for one another. It's just
Well, I think it always comes down to, for some reason, anything that differs from a certain person's perspective or way of life feels like an attack on them for some reason. Like
why it's so
I
weird, you know?
never understand it. Like, just because one person wants to get readers and is hoping to get, or like, is interested, doesn't mean that you not wanting that is the wrong way to be a writer. I'm not trying to define you. I'm just showing you who I am, like, and that's what it's like.
Projection is a hell of a drug, man.
Yeah,
I tell you
all I
what.
can do is speak for myself, and I know I've said it before, but like, I'm just like a nerdy dude who, like, I have a couple of friends, I have a couple D&D campaigns, I try my best, I write, I spend time with my family. I am a very particular cookie cutter shape, and it's just, unfortunately for you, not your shape, like, and that's okay. I think that's better, right? Like, what are we doing? It's
Mhm.
okay. Like, we're all a little similar, and we comment on those things, and we talk about it, and we like start groups, and we're like, oh yeah, we both like, these comic books or whatever, and we find those shared joys, and it's wonderful. I just don't understand why we tear each other apart when though any difference comes up, and I'm like, all right, just stop. I don't even want
Mhm.
to talk about this. I would rather just keep talking about Ed Gein's nipples, but like,
Nipple
dang.
chairs.
Anyway, speaking of Ed Gein's nipples, no, it's not. Steven, let's get back on track. We do have some questions from the colony. So let's
Ooh, yes.
for the people, so because we got a little like in the weeds. So
Let's
let's
just do questions for the colony and not even talk about what we failed this week. Let's just move to the questions and we did great, everyone. It's just all
great.
about the questions.
Everybody,
It's
we
about the
didn't even
questions.
made so many pages. All right, Steven, hit us with
For
that.
your sake, I did rough 100% of it. I'm finding the pen. But anyways, questions from the colony. Okay. You're walking through the woods one night and it's peaceful. You're not in the Appalachian Mountains, so you're safe. You're in the swamplands of Florida, which are actually not that safe because there's a lot of things like reptiles, moccasins, and other things. But then you got something in your brain and you're like, hey, man, I wish there were two dudes in the swampland that could answer this question. So you make your way and you see the fiery glow and you just know that the two best colony leaders are right there. So it's questions from the colony with Anthony and Stephen too sometimes. Sorry, I don't know, I said to like kind of change it up by singing it exactly how I always sing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Steven, I love that song every single time you do it. It's definitely the same every time. There's no
It's
way you make those words up.
verbatim. The
I mean,
word verbatim was invented to describe how I sing our theme song.
it's impressive. It's noted in the dictionary. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. All right, let's see. So every week or every once in a while, we give people an opportunity to ask us questions, and we get questions on X/Twitters and all that stuff. And people comment below. If you're here and this is your first time, you somehow made it this far in the episode, please hit the subscribe button.
You are a
You
powerhouse.
are incredible. You're like, ooh, Eggy nipples
You survived Ed
on
Gein nipples.
complaining about like social media stuff. Oh God, give me it's delicious.
You went through some mountain passes, okay? Like you are tossing the ring in the
This
volcano. Like you've made the
I
journey.
think you are the hero of this podcast. So if you're still here, first of all, comment below and let us know because that's really impressive.
You're Sam and Frodo simultaneously. Like you are just killing it.
So and don't forget to subscribe, please. But we do
It's
have questions.
Moto. Sorry.
So we do have questions from the colony. Our first question comes from our good friend Stu World Order. He says, "What are the five best condiments?"
Ooh,
Steven, what are the five best?
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna say aioli, but
Well,
mayonnaise,
I mean,
mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard. You got to have those three. Those three are everything.
first,
From there, if we want some more advanced condiments, I would say I love like yum yum sauce from like
God, yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, hibachi grills.
Only have one
Ooh,
more.
I only want more. This is it's
That's
tough.
that's math.
I'm gonna change my mustard just to a specific mustard, which
Well,
is like golden spicy brown. That's like my favorite mustard. I like all mustards, but that's like my favorite.
okay.
And then fifth sauce, fifth condiment. Ooh, fuck. Ooh, homemade Southern style buttermilk ranch.
Ooh, nice. I like that you said that. I was just talking to Carly, my fiance, about that. About Steven, I don't understand this, okay? Growing up, I hated mayonnaise. I wasn't a fan.
Mhm.
Couldn't eat it. I didn't want to eat it on anything. I took it off everything, right? I was like, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, never. And then I started like when I still ate chicken. I started eating it on chicken sandwiches. I was like, oh yeah, no, this is good. And then
It adds much needed lubrication to chicken. I
it
will
does.
just put that out there.
And then for a while, I started eating it on burgers where it was like mayonnaise and lettuce only. I would have
Mm,
that for a while,
so good.
and that is so good, dude. And then like I stopped eating meat, but I would eat mayonnaise like just with fries. I started eating mayonnaise, right?
I'm
And
gonna be real. On most like vegetarian like wraps or like sauces that you would put like shrimps, even like any seafood, like mayonnaise based sauces are the best on those things. Like they're just so they add so much character to it.
but what I don't understand is that like sometimes I'll have a mayonnaise, right? And it's not even like brand based because like I've had Hellman's mayonnaise and I've had Hellman's mayonnaise. And this one I can dip a fry in and be like, oh, that was amazing. And then this one I dip a fry in and I want to throw it at like Ed Gein. And I'm like, no one should ever have to taste this.
This
How
is
many
a
nickels
horrible
put in
concoction.
this? Yeah, and I hate it. I don't get that. I do like, and I felt the same way about ranch for like most of my life, where I was like, sometimes I love ranch, and sometimes I hate it, and I don't know why. But I think you're onto something with the homemade situation.
Yeah, and I mean even homemade in the sense that I'll let you, like everyone here know, like as long as you make it yourself, like in the sense that you don't even have to do fresh dill for any of that stuff. Like you could go that far, but if you just buy the Hidden Valley like ranch seasoning
Yeah,
shakers, which if you buy Hidden Valley ranch in the store, it sucks, like the bottled version.
yeah,
But if you buy the shaker and then milk, mayonnaise, and that shaker, like that ranch is awesome. And then if you can
crazy.
even one up it and do it with buttermilk and other things like that and add more richness to it. But yes, like there's something about making it yourself because it's probably just because of the preservatives and things they need to put into
Fair.
bottled ranches to like make them like
The
shelf
flavor.
stable.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Rib City, by the way, has if you ever come to Florida, Rib City's ranch is like the best ranch. There's not a ranch better than Rib City's ranch.
Ooh, could we do next time we go to your house? We should have Rib City.
I'm so down. Fried the popcorn shrimp with some
Shrimp.
ranch.
Oh man, I'm dying for. Okay, okay. Next question. Enough of the food because I'm gonna start getting hungry. Our good friend Daily Downing, hi Daily,
Hi
asks
Daily.
says, "What movie monsters have been underdone? What creatures should we bring into newer portrayals? What do you
Ooh,
think?"
underdone. I feel like one that hasn't even been done well yet, personally, is the Chupacabra. Like I
That's,
feel like they can make like a really cool, like badass horror movie
yeah,
that isn't campy or cheesy. I mean, first things first, we gotta probably rename this sucker, right? No, I'm just kidding. But
yeah. But dude, honestly, like, I mean, I obviously, I will still say werewolves are underdone. There
they
has
are
been,
I feel like they're very rarely done right too.
they're
And I
never
can't
done.
explain why. I can't
Yeah,
explain to you why, but
they're
they're
done
just
right.
not.
You know what I realized? Like, it's interesting because there are vampire movies where you get the whole spectrum where it's like some are scary, some are funny, some are fun, some are like spooky, some are sexy. You get like a whole like a myriad of vampires, right? Like a whole spectrum. Werewolves, there aren't any scary werewolf movies. Like there's like the only one I can think of. I mean, they tried with the new Wolfman, but it was laughable. Like it was really bad. And then so aside from that, there was Howl, which I don't think anyone even saw it, but it was like people on a train essentially being like tormented by werewolves. That was kind of scary, or like they tried to do like jump scares and stuff. Most of them are just like dramas and like action
Mm.
based like I gotta fight this wolf, it's not like scary. So like I'd like to see a scary werewolf movie. But aside from that, I'm trying to think of like what movie monster, because when you think of like something that's been underdone, it has to be something that exists but something that hasn't been used a lot. Gilman is a good one. Like the last
Mm.
the last like fish creature. Like, by the way, I mean, why haven't we done the ocean, like monsters from the ocean?
Deep
It's
sea beast would be crazy.
it'd be crazy.
Like
We do sharks all the time. Like you can easily do a creature from Black Lagoon, but instead of that, just make it simply like something that comes out of like the deep sea. Like the instead of kaiju's attacking the city, it's something escaped or like made its way to the surface. Maybe we hunted its food source, or maybe we like polluted the water so much that instead of coming up here and shaking its like Atlantean fists, like in a political sense, it's just looking for food like a creature would. It's like I need to eat, and
its reserves are limited. Like yeah.
yeah. So like I think the creature from Black Lagoon is probably a really good answer because it's never been done like aside from the originals, in a way that works.
That is probably the best answer.
But all right, let's see. Joanna Marie, who is always super supportive and awesome. So thank you for that. I hope you watch. But says talk about anything fall or Halloween. How about a remake of Creature from Black Lagoon? Oh my God, Steven!
That is crazy. That is crazy. That wasn't planned, right? You didn't plan
No,
that at all.
no, I
That's
didn't.
so
I didn't even
crazy.
look at these. These are from like 2 weeks ago, Steven. I was like reading. That's so cool. That's I mean, you can see it on my face. Like if you
Well,
watch this episode, I'm like, what the fuck? All right. Anyway, Joanna's awesome. But she also said down below, can you tie this conversation into tie your book into the podcast somehow? So I will use this opportunity, thank you, Joanna, to say my book's been out for a week now, Steven. I only have like 2 reviews on Amazon, or 3 ratings, but it's going pretty well. People seem to like it, or at least the few people who have read it so far. I really hope more people read it. I gave you guys a copy, and you bought another copy, which is really
yeah,
cool.
I bought a copy, so yeah, I got to review it on Amazon.
Yes, yes. You guys have. I mean, you don't have to read it. I know it's a book, and
No,
it's.
we will.
But
I'm debating on how to do it, like whether to read it with the kids or just
oh,
Tina and I, or just myself, even just.
yeah. That'd be interesting. Some people have been like, I'm waiting for the audiobook. I'm like, I wish I had time. I just wish like I wish I had time to record an audiobook. Oh God. But if you're out there right now and you like horror comedy and you want to like support my, insane, silly, like, just monster and pun-filled novel, please go pick up Table Scraps. It would mean a lot to me. Catman Jones says, try discussing how buying a book could change people's lives, diversify their current reading portfolio, and how they would the best coffee table conversation starter. So people were being supportive about my book. That's nice.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Gotta love the friends we have.
Oh, for sure, dude. But that's nice. We actually those are all the questions. We didn't get a lot of questions this week, so that's good. But those are all the questions we had. Make sure you buy my book. Make sure you check out Deathless and Play It Again and all of the books that we're trying our best to get out into the world despite all of the nonsense. Steven, what are you gonna do this week?
I'm gonna finish this page, and I am gonna do 2 pages this week because I'm gonna finish this one and get another one done so I can play at least some catch up.
Yes. All right. Awesome. I don't know. I was like, yeah, if you could muster the courage, Stephen, make days go well. Just condiment
Just
kill.
ranching,
That's
uh,
right.
ranching that yum yum boy. No,
Ranching on Yum Yum.
ranching that yum yum boy.
So if you're here, comment ranching that yum yum down below. We might give you something. We didn't promise it to give away, but I just want to see if anyone does it. If you make it this far, ranching the yum yum boy. I am going to do my best to color the pages that you uploaded into the drive.
Yes.
I'm gonna do my best. I have to do some stuff for work tomorrow, so I'm gonna edit this, do stuff for work, but then Thursday I should have some time where like I'm making
Nice.
color, and then like definitely Friday and like Saturday I have to do some like D&D stuff. Dude, I host 2 D&D campaigns now, which
What's the other one you're doing now?
it's with Carly's brother and his and fiance. So it's like it's me and Carly's brother and his fiance and Carly, and they want me to run a D&D campaign. So I run theirs on the off weeks of ours. So I'm
That's
literally
crazy.
every Saturday, Steven. So it's like my brain is just like I have to create a world. Oh, I have to create another world. Oh, I have to create another world. It's just like,
Imagination land.
oh, dude, it's crazy. Like yeah, I'm a juggler, Steven. This is a circus, and I'm just a clown, I guess. I don't know. But it is fun. I freaking love doing it. I will color this week, though. I'm excited. I'm gonna get back
You
to this.
got this.
I do. But let us know what you're working on. Let us know what you think of our books. Let us know what you think of Ed Gein or any of the things that we said. We really do appreciate having you around. We just love you all. Thank you for watching this silly show. Steven, what do you want to say to the people?
I love you. You guys are amazing. You guys are incredible. I hope you all have wonderful weeks. I hope everything that you look for in life happens for you. And until I see you next week,
That's right. Until next time, I'm Anthony.
I'm Stevie Wildcard.
This has been We Have Issues. We'll see you next week.
I have boom blindness. It means I can't detect when someone booms into a mic.
Did like right in the middle of those things.
So, okay, I have a quick little like
Yeah, yeah.
silly thing, like a silly thought that I have.
Okay.
So,
I'm listening.
I actually told it to Cambria earlier, and
Okay.
she thought it was funny. But I was telling Cammy because in my garage, right? So Cammy, I had when she was younger, I bought her the Pink Ranger helmet from
Yeah.
like GameStop, like the cool one. And she didn't want it anymore at one point, so I had to put it in my room. Well,
Mhm.
then she just decides one day when she's like a year or two older to take it
Oh,
and draw on it, which pissed me off because
oh,
I'm like, you didn't even
ah,
want it anymore. You just drew on it with Sharpie, and now it's like it's just
ugh.
got Sharpie on it. But anyways, it just happens to be on one of the shelves in my garage. And I was telling Cammy, like, Cammy, it's so crazy. Like, you remember No Way Home, baby? Like with Green Goblin and the helmet on the dumpster. Every time I walk into the garage, I have like this weird, like, funny, like made up conversation with this helmet in my head, as if it's like looking at me like Green Goblin's helmet. It's just fun. Next time you come over, I'm gonna have you come in through the garage so you can see my Green
Yeah,
Goblin thing.
the Green Goblin,
It's
like,
so funny because it literally makes you think of it every time I walk in. I'm just like, it's like calling to
what
me
does
to
it
be
say?
Kimberly or something.
Yeah, what does it, what does it
It's
say?
just like, wear pink, boy. Let's go. Let's become the Pink Ranger. Like of all the Rangers for me to become, like it's just
Even it's time.
this time.